Emory, Hunt, Lige, Douzable here to offer their thoughts. Douz, I'm going to get you in a second here on the Jets, so I'll let you just ruminate for a couple more over what you saw or did not see in this game. Emory, instead, we'll go Cardinals first here. This is about as good as it gets. This is a fantastic performance from Kyler Murray. When you go 22 of 24, and we've seen him do things like this, how does he start to breed consistency into it and do it week after week?
Well, because I love the approach they're taking, Joe and Leger. They're doing a good job of passing. The passing game is working inside out. So you're seeing a lot of tight ends, a lot of backs get involved before they start to work out wide to their receivers. And you saw great chemistry with Marvin Harrison Jr. That's starting to develop. Wilson, another receiver that's a young player that's doing a great job. So because they're working the passing game inside and out, or inside out, they're allowing him to get into a groove early. And when you look at the defense, the Jets had no answer for their passing game because everyone was getting the target. 11 yards in the attempt. He was locked in, dialed in, and it showed out there today on the field.
Dudes, the Jets had no answer for Murray, and I don't know if there's an answer to this question because we talked about, after that Houston win, the road ahead being alive and well. You're now mathematically up against it, likely needing to win out to make a playoff position in the AFC. So what does that road look like to you? You could talk to me about these next 7 or 8 weeks, or you could talk to me about the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, right now the Jets aren't a good football team, right? When you talk about the defense moves, tackling is a want-to thing, and the Jets just don't want to do it. You alluded to that missed tackle by Sauce Gardner. He struggled tackling, but you knew what type of team you were playing this week in the Arizona Cardinals. This was going to be a physical brand of football. Now, they actually did an adequate job stopping the run. James Conner didn't have a big game running, but Emory and Joe, we know that the Jets D-line is an aggressive front that wants to get after the quarterback. How do you mitigate that, Emory? The screen game. I don't believe the Jets have stopped one running back screen the entire year. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, James Conner led them in receiving yards out of the backfield, mostly on screen plays. So my thing is they're just undisciplined on defense. They don't want to tackle in space on defense. And then on offense, week after week, if it's not one receiver, it's another receiver. Just not on the same page with Aaron Rodgers. Tyron Smith has really struggled at the left tackle position. The Arizona Cardinals team coming into this game had really struggled to get after the quarterback. They got 3 sacks today. So, Moose, when you ask about what the future looks like for the Jets, I mean, I think they're just worried about trying to get another win next week, right? Just trying to get it all together and execute. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to turn this thing around. And I would not be surprised if there's talks of maybe them deciding to sit Aaron Rodgers down for the rest of the year because the offense does not look good. Yes, we've seen a half or two from the offense looking good, whether it's the New England Patriots game or last week, the second half from the Houston Texans game, but we haven't seen consistency from the quarterback position or the offense or the defense, for that matter, for the entire year.
Yeah, it's a defense without its loudest voice in that room. Obviously, Robert Saleh long been dismissed, but it's a team that looks like they're trying to put something together that's just not there. Your opinion right now on the Jets is what?
Oh, my God, Joe and Leger.
that says it?
Yeah, because I wrote down in my notes, like, man, they are running plays and not an offense.
Yeah.
Because everything just looks like it's singled up ISO. Okay, we got to get this person the ball. We got to get this person the ball. And the answer, in my opinion, I know I may be biased, but the answer is staring them right in the face. They can run the football. They got 2 excellent backs that had success against this Cardinals defense early, and they hadn't gotten those guys involved. And I think that's the way they have to go. And I hate to say that these guys look checked out mentally, but that's what happened when they got down on the scoreboard. You didn't see the lack of fire and energy. But offensively speaking, to Leger's point, they got to get together and figure out what is our offense, and we got to stop running plays. Because every time I look up, you see Braylon Allen busting a run or a screen. You see Breece Hall busting a run on a screen. Yeah. So it's like, man, what's going? Get these dudes the football.
Yeah, it's easy to sit here when things are going bad and start talking about staffs. But how about when things are going good, dudes? How much credit does this staff for Arizona deserve? Because buy-in, sort of the operative term there, and that idea floating around in the desert sometimes over these last couple head coaching decisions. This is a team that certainly appears to be bought into what their winning formula is going to be.
Moose and Emory, this has been a scrappy team for the last 2 years, and I equate it to this. The Arizona Cardinals are like that snake when your mom says you can't find something in a room. She was like, well, if it was a snake, I bet you would have saw it, right? That's the Arizona Cardinals. Like, if you don't see them, they'll bite you. Right now, today, they won from the beginning of the game, but when you look at some of their games from this season earlier, the San Francisco game, you know, they let them hang around, and they bit them at the end. Like, that's just a scrappy group led by head coach Jonathan Gannon. They've kind of taken on his mentality. But what I really have loved, and you heard Didi talking to Kyler Murray after the game, is that this team can beat you in multitude of ways, right? We saw it last week versus your Chicago Bears, Moose. They ran the ball down their throat. Well, this week it was Kyler Murray dicing up the Jets. So anytime you can be multiple on offense, you have a real shot. And for me, I was a person that said they were a year away. But if they can continue to run the ball like they're running with James Conner, and they continue to throw the ball like Kyler Murray has, and he's being dynamic with his legs as well, this is a team that's going to be dangerous down the stretch. I think they alluded to it. For their last 7 games or divisional games, the easiest way to get to the playoffs is to win the division. So everything they want is literally right in front of them.
What is it? No rookies at this point in the season. Marvin Harrison Jr. certainly looking like he's come of age as well. 54 yards in this one. A beautiful touchdown grab. Emory, as you look at what he's been able to. Yeah, hit me.
I just want to say one more thing.
You got it.
Trey McBride is a top 3 tight end in the league, and people need to start putting some respect on this kid's name because the things that he does for this offense is not talked about enough. I mean, they give him jet sweeps. He's a threat down the seams in the middle of the field, and you saw it on the highlight moves. This guy will leap defensive backs in the middle of the field. So Trey McBride, they need to start putting some respect on this guy's name.
Respect earned and respect given here on HQ. Dudes, we appreciate that point. Is Trey McBride also a guy who plays with plenty of juice?